Alright, if there's been like beeping in the background, I'm sorry. I closed out of the window that I think was causing it, and hopefully that won't continue. I don't really want to cut up. I'll try to cut it out if I can, but I might miss some of them, so sorry about that. So let's move out of Cristotante now. Cristotanti, sorry. You wake early and sit for a moment, in no great hurry to leave this place where you have lingered so long. This is now the third day of your journey, and the muscles in your legs are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. We're up to 12 out of 14 stamina. So we're actually doing better than we were previously. You spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set off along the path. Cristotante is surrounded by several miles of fields. It sits in a well-protected ring of hills and is close enough to the river to be reasonably prosperous, which is not the impression I got earlier. As you follow the path between lines of sun-baked crops, you come to a fork in the road. The right-hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly off into a deep woodland. So, I have a decision to make, because last time I went this way and it actually was alright. There's no real issues going this direction. However, I want to explore the ruins, but I feel like if I do, that's going to be a mistake. I feel like this is not going to be good, and it's a long path. However, if I go down here and help this lady, she might turn out to be bad and screw me over anyways. And what did I even gain from that? I gained the pouch of sand, which allowed me to cast mud, which I actually never used. Quicksand. Although it is sand, I mean, it would be nice. Let's explore more, because I don't know if I'm gonna play this game a third time. So you glimpse a few people at work by the buildings. There will be precious little company on your journey, so you should take it while you can. Approaching a low wall, you see a blind beggar sheltering in the shade with his hand held outstretched. He hears you approach and clicks his fingers.
Alms, would you? For love of Sinla, alms!
Look at him. The man is a sorry sight. He is skinny and sparsely clothed, and his eyes are painted with a dark dye to indicate his blindness for all to see.
Please, mistress, I wouldn't ask if I didn't need to. Used to be a gaoler, see?
Or is that jailer? I think it's jailer.
Now I don't. See, please.
What happened to you?
Red eyes,
he answers and won't say any more. Give him a coin. You place a coin in his outstretched hand.
You're kind, traveler,
the beggar says. He feels over the surface of the coin, then bites down on it.
Why, me? This is a gold piece. You're too generous to a poor sightless beggar. You'll get me killed if anyone knows that I have it.
The beggar beams up at you. Look after yourself, buddy.
Wait,
he calls.
1 moment, please.
He begins to scrabble around, feeling over his body as if looking for holes. Eventually he cries, "Aha!" and pulls out a copper key, which he holds out to you. What is that?
Years ago I lived in Kar, he explains. Kar was my home, and in the city port I watched over prisoners in the jail. Beware the red eyes in Kar, or my fate will befall you, and you'll be here with me, begging for your living.
What are the red eyes, exactly?
Pray you never find out,
is his simple reply.
Listen to me. Kar is wary of strangers, but this key will help you if you be captured by red eyes. Trust old me.
Oh, so red eyes are like a gang. As the man talks, you step quickly out of the road as an ox cart whips past you, raining dust. It does not stop. Take the key. You take the key and put it safely into your pack. Thank you, you say, then move on. You follow the path away from the village for half the morning. The walk is easy. It feels as natural as breathing to have the road move beneath your feet. Hard to believe you trained for this journey so long, now that you are on it. You climb a little, tracing the side of a group of trees until you meet a fork in the road. You could continue straight on and upwards, or turn west for a while. Oh, no. No, no, no. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. We are not going into some dense trees. Are you fucking joking, game? What are you... I'm a well. Hey! Why do you call me a well? A well is never a good thing, which is weird because wells are actually pretty cool creatures, but it either means A, you're fat, or B, you're, like casino calls you wells because you're, I forget why that's actually a well, but basically you're a fat cat and you spend tons of money at the casino and lose fuck tons of money, and they love you and give you like tons of food and drinks because they want you to stay there as long as humanly possible. Those are the only two things I know of that are called wells. So let's go straight on. You continue along the path, climbing. Your legs feel strong and lean. By the end of this journey, you will be built like a mountain goat. Is that a mountain goat? All right, whatever. I mean, they go over mountains, I guess. The afternoon progresses long and easy. This place you are walking through seems thick with desolation, as if it was long ago abandoned. And then, as if to confirm your thought, you come across two enormous stone pillars, listing slightly either side of the road. They form a gate, but the gate is 3 times the height of a man. Hang on, I want to check something real quick. I want to see if that key allows me to cast a specific spell that I haven't been able to do yet. I guess I can just look for the lit up ones. Those Dud, Madge, Fall Dim, Sap. Oh yeah, we did cast Fog, didn't we, earlier? Zed, I want to cast you. No. I bet you can't cast Zed till like part 3 or 4. Look them over. Peering closely, you make out the faded remains of carved characters in the old script. L and K. The remnant of a spell of fortune, perhaps. Or of binding for those now fallen stones. Go through. There's nothing for it but to go forwards. Okay, remember, LK. Through the gate. You step into the shadow of the enormous gate. The ruins of walls line the path either side, but these are walls built from blocks the size of ox carts. Centuries ago, this must have been a palace of a king 12 feet tall. Now it has been leveled, and the stone stolen for the filled walls and foundations of the villages all around. Hell yeah, we're explorers. You take a moment to clamber out over the ruins and off the path until you're surrounded by waist-high grasses. The ground rises and falls sharply around the outlines of houses and buildings. You trace a line of a street wide enough to run 3 carts abreast that leads quickly downhill towards a forest. Once this place was rich and plentiful. What happened here to remove every last trace of these colossal people? Let's look inside a house. You stop by the edge of a house. The side wall only stands as high as your knees. Grass nods above it. Looking inside, you can make out the edges of a fireplace, the back wall, and an adjoining area, perhaps a grain store or a bedroom. Grass nods above it. Yeah, sure, let's search in the grass. Why the fuck not? You take a few moments to search through the long grasses and find nothing until your hand closes on a clay pot near one wall. It is the shape of a wine jug, but about 3 times the usual size. Around the neck is a red stain. Wine, or maybe blood. It is impossible to tell. The base of the pot has been smashed away, perhaps by age, perhaps by someone unhappy with the contents. You leave the pot behind. You follow the line of the street down the slope of the hill. The further you go from the path, the more overgrown the ruins become, until you can barely make out their outlines at all. After a while, you are not following the street at all, but simply holding to the same line. You approach the edge of a thick woodland. Wow, there wasn't much there, was there? Turn back and climb. No, we don't want to go through the fucking forest, I swear. The path crosses over a low, broken wall, and then rises sharply uphill through a pass. After a while, you see two cave mouths, one to the left of the path and another to the right. Oh, here we fucking go again, huh? Let's, we have enough stamina, so let's give it the old... Wait. Oh, it's not gonna let me, will it? I find it weird you can't just cast spells whenever you want to. Well, left has been good to us so far, so let's go to the left-hand cave. The left-hand cave is a little wider at its mouth, but it is also not deep and appears to be empty. Rubble covers the floor along with a few items that suggest someone lived here. A huge broken stool, a net with a wide mesh, and a large human-shaped skull the size of a dog. This place was clearly home to a giant! Investigate what's here. Still, by the look of the skull, it seems the giant is long gone, so it should be safe to look around. Let's look at the net. You pick up the net. The squares are so large that a rabbit or deer would be able to run straight through, but they're small enough that they could catch an animal of about your size. Oh, I don't want to do that. Of course, you'd cut your way out of such a trap in a moment. Yeah, I'm taking the fucking net. Are you kidding me? Let's look at the skull. Next, you turn your attention to the giant's skull. There is no trace of flesh remaining on the bone, and the eye sockets are dull and empty. No one has lived in here for a long time. The top of the skull has been knocked about a bit. There's a crack in the top, and most of the teeth are missing. Examine the teeth. There are only 2 teeth left in the jaw. Let's get some teeth. Use the tip of your sword to pry a couple of giant's teeth free, and you slip them into your pack. I think that probably a spell. Finally, you look at the stool. It's made from the lower branches of an ash tree braced together with joint pins the size of your forearm. And before the stool broke, it could probably have borne the weight of several cattle. But it's broken now, and of no use to you, and there's no way you could carry it far. Take the stool. You have to distill. Who knows? It might prove to be important. You've seen enough. You turn to leave the cave, but you've almost collapsed under the weight of the stool already. You put it down again. I don't know what the point of that was. Alright, let's see if we can cast any new spells now. Quickly look through this. Oh, here we go. Yob. Casting this spell requires the tooth of a giant, and when cast, will summon a new giant whom the caster may control. The giant will then disappear when his duty is done. His duty. Duty. God. Jewel of gold. Immediate liking. Ooh. What happened to that love spell? I wanted to make people fall in love with me. Really curious about these other spells, but I don't want to read them until I get them. So, we're a dolphin now. We have a giant's tooth. We can summon a giant if we so want to. And how many giants, actually? Because we got a couple of those, didn't we? Treasure? 18 gold pieces. No. Magical items. 2 giant's teeth. Spellbook page. Okay. Perfect. Let's go to the right-hand cave now. Crossing the path, you go over to the other cave. There's a faint whistling sound. The wind, perhaps? Go further in. You creep further in. Then, a few steps on, you stumble and fall. And as you do so, the whistling stops. To your horror, you realize what you have tripped over is a foot. A giant slowly rubs its eyes and gets to its feet. It hoists up a massive stone club. Cast a spell. We're going to call on our friend, other giant, hopefully. Yeah. Yob! Cast. You pull out a giant's tooth and throw it onto the ground, and cast your spell. A plume of smoke rises into the air as if the tooth has set it alight, and then out of the smoke steps another giant. The two close with each other, slamming each other with their clubs. The noise fills the valley and huge waves of dust are kicked up. Let's see who wins.